Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Ken's TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Now, before we get into this afternoon's story, if you will, y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your hood, your set, whatever it may be that you proclaim to be. Let us know if you're the man or the woman that you say you be, rather. You know, a day before Thanksgiving, and I reflect back. I reflect back to all of the holidays, all of the Thanksgivings that I spent incarcerated. Don't know exactly how many, but I would say it's definitely minimum 10, probably 11. And during the holidays, your Thanksgivings and your Christmas and even 4th of July, I'll never say that anything in prison will take your mind off the streets. But you have certain times of the year, certain days of the year, that will at least ease your mind, if that makes any sense to you. Thanksgiving Eve, all the penitentiaries across the world, you got people trying to get everything that they need, finalize everything that they need as far as the items that they need to buy off the commissary for the Thanksgiving meal, the Thanksgiving spread, the Thanksgiving feast, however you want to title it. You see, Thanksgiving is one of those times to where even while you're incarcerated, you get a group of guys, they get together, put their money together, go to the commissary. Okay, you got $10, you got $12, you got $15. Well, look, man, I got $40. It's not a 50-50 thing. It's not, okay, just whatever you can contribute. You got $3 here, man. You just get a couple cans of Bush's baked beans. It's everybody contributes. And in certain units, all the units that I've been in, the people that didn't have any money to contribute, they ate anyway. Everybody eats, but it's not like that everywhere. Please not get it misconstrued. Kens, come on, man. Just get to the story. See, I be in the story. You all just don't understand that I'm in the story. As I always say, if you like your 8 to 12 to 15-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Salute. But at Real Ken's TV, it's 30 minutes or better. So with all that being said, with all that being wrapped up into one big old nutshell, that is, pause. There is a message. Certain items you have to get days before Thanksgiving Eve. Obviously, on Thanksgiving, the commissary is not open. You got to get your canned ham. You got to get your banquet chicken. And you can't get that weeks before, but Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. Obviously, on Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, you want to get your chicken probably that Monday, no later than Tuesday, and keep it on ice. They have ice machines in prison, and you put it in your cooler, and that's how you're able to keep your meats cold. People ask me that question all the time. Kens, how you keep your meats, your hot dogs, and your bolognas, and your hams, and your lunch meats, and your chicken tenders, and your burgers? Take it out of the original box. You bust it down. Put it in a baggie, potato chip bag, something like that. Put it in a bowl. Put it in your cooler, and keep ice on it. 3 or 4 times a day, you got to go in there and remove those items, pour the ice not pour the ice out, but pour the water out and restock it with ice. That's how you do. So you keep your chicken on ice. Some people you may have burgers that you've bought and you grind it down. Some people fix a meatloaf, and everything's done in a microwave. They have grills now, but if it can't be fried on top of the grill, it's done up in a microwave. So those are your essential items, your meats. You want to get your shells and cheese. That's macaroni and cheese, because that's going to run out. Your Bush's baked beans, your cranberry sauce, your stuffing, your cheesecakes. These items are going to go fast, so that if your money comes on Wednesday, right, late Tuesday night, When I say your money arrives. Kens, you don't got to break everything down. Yes, I do, because some people have never done a night in jail. They don't understand what I mean. They don't understand prison lingo, to say the least. So, yes, I do have to break it down. Just sit back and kick your feet up. Enjoy the ride. As I mentioned, everybody's preparing for the meal on the spread on Thursday. They do what's called a special meal. Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, maybe Memorial Day. Normally the commissary meals are just, the chow hall meals rather, absolutely horrific. Sure, you got your pizza days and your spaghetti days and you know, certain days, meatloaf's not too bad, Polish sausages. You know, you got tacos, taco salad days, but the majority of the time, those meals are going to be absolutely terrible. However, on Thanksgiving Day, they do the Thanksgiving meal. You're going to get turkey. It's not going to be real turkey. You're going to get ham. It's not going to be real ham. Stuffing, dressing, cranberry sauce. You might get some corns, macaroni and cheese, cake, ice cream, dinner rolls. They're going to do it up for you. In comparison to the regular meals that they normally serve. You got people that come to the chow house sometimes for the special meals that normally don't come out and eat out of their locker, meaning that they got enough money coming in, they make enough money in prison or have enough money in prison to where they can just literally just buy whatever they need out of commissary and eat out of their locker. This particular day. Now, mind you, visits are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Because it's a holiday. It's a major holiday. Typically visits are Saturday and Sundays. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's visitation time. Saturdays and Sundays. But because it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, I think those are the major, New Year's. They're going to have visit almost all week long. Got a dude by the name of Irv. Irv was a dark-skinned dude. Had like the little short dread, the short locks. He was just now growing them. Straightest white teeth I think I ever seen in my life, man. Irv probably weighed in at Irv was about he had to have been about 220. Of course, he was 5'11". I mean, that's just a given. Kens, how's everybody? We don't understand that, Kens. Now, hold up. How is everybody, it seems to be 5'11" in your stories? I don't make the rules. I just adhere to them. He was 5'11", man. Y'all rock with me, man. Irv was a quiet type dude, man. Didn't bother nobody. Didn't really say much to many people. Irv had a bad temper, but I never really knew that. You would never know that just by everyday conversation with the dude. He was just laid back. He never really, I never really knew that he had that temperament that he had until I seen him bloop out one day. We were in we was in one of them classes together, masonry or something like that. Brick and block laying and all of that stuff. Yeah, I know how to use a trowel. I know how to level, the bricks and the blocks. I could probably build a brick mailbox if I wanted to, but that's too much work. I'm old now, man. You got to start down on your knees, pause, double pause. Build it up to where now you can just stand up and take that trowel, put that mortar on there, so level, on to the next one. Take the trowel, knock scrape the mortar off. If you know, you know. If you don't even worry about it. Got my OSHA card, all that stuff, but I came out and that just wasn't what I was interested in doing. But guess what? The story's not about me. I love to paint a picture so you all will be able to, kind of just visualize what I'm speaking of as I speak of it. Him and I became, pretty close or whatever. The dorms that we lived in, we didn't live in the same dorms, but we lived in, the dorm that he lived in was right next to the dorm that I lived in. And the yard we was on, man, it probably half a mile. From the dorm to class was about a half a mile. So oftentimes we would walk back from class together. And he was very, very excited about going on visit. His people was coming to visit him on Thanksgiving Day. His girl. His two kids that he had one kid by her. Actually had two kids by her. He had another kid by, a different lady. His mother, I believe his brother, they were all coming to visit him. Happy times, man. It's never happy times when you're in prison, but to know that people think enough of you to come and visit you, very, very thankful and humbling times. He goes to visit. Everything seems to be everything. It's no problems. No major issues. Next thing you know, and I'm sorry you all, my other device is ringing. Need to let the people know that I'm talking to my peoples. And so he's out there on visit, and like I said, man, he's hugging his kids, he's playing with his kids, man. He's happy to see his mother, he's happy to see his girl, his brother. Everything is cool. Got fat ass Rogers. I've done at least 3 or 4 videos on Rogers, man. Rogers was a CO. Definitely wasn't 5'11", because people 5'11" don't act like Rogers. Rogers was about 6'2", maybe 6'3", somewhere right around in there. I say closer to 6'2". Had to be about 360. A little baby face. Rogers probably was about 27 years old, somewhere right around in there if I had to guess. Had the nerve to have a little chin strap beard. Dude was a jerk, man. I seen Rogers get whooped so many times, man. Inmates just whooped him. His one claim to fame was because he choked a dude out one time, and the dude that he choked out was in a wheelchair. So once Rogers choked the dude out, I guess he felt as though he had the juice. He felt as though he was that man. He was that guy. Rogers used to get the brakes beat off of him. And it seemed like every time he got the brakes beat off of him, guess what? He came back, quote unquote, tougher and tougher, but only in his eyes. Rogers comes over to the table, visitation table. Got his daughter in his lap, they playing or whatever. Your people can bring change to the visitations. Go to the vending machines. Can't beat paper money though. Yeah, baby, give me one of them Philly cheesesteaks, bag of chips. Bring a nigga old Snickers or something back, Reese's, Mountain Dew, and that's how a visit is. Kids, whatever they want, they go over, warm the stuff up in the microwave. After they get out of the vending machine, you just sitting there talking to whoever's at the table, if anybody's at the table. In this particular case, it was, because there were so many people that visited. Looking around, you're just seeing happy people. People just hugging and just glad to be in the presence of their loved ones. There's always an individual that's miserable. There's always somebody that got a problem with something. Rogers was that guy that always had a problem with something. You remember the scene of the movie American Gangster? Denzel, Frank Lucas, was talking to Cuba Gooding Jr. He played the role of Bumpy Johnson. Actually, it wasn't Bumpy Johnson, to be honest. It was, y'all jump in the comment section and let me know. What was his name? It wasn't Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson is the dude that Denzel, a.k.a. Frank Lucas, worked for. But nevertheless, they were in the, Denzel, had to pay Cuba Gooding Jr. a little visit at his spot, at his club. He's sitting there, in the little private room. What brings you back, Frank? Cuba Gooding, his character was real obnoxious. What brings you back, Frank? Frank checks it. Everybody's happy. The Italians, everybody's eating. Everybody's getting their money. It's not word for word verbatim, but he was telling Cuba Gooding Jr., you taking my product and you busting it down when you don't have to do that. I stand on my product, and it can't be called blue magic if you busting it down. It's not pure. Cuba goes on to tell him, with all due respect, Frank, is once I buy something, I have the right to do with it what I want to do with it. Frank tells him, yeah, but you don't have to. Once again, that's copyright infringement. When you take my dope and you bust it down, you can't call it blue magic anymore. Okay, what you want me to do, Frank? Change the name? What you want me to put a chokehold on a motherfucker and call it red dog shit? I don't give a fuck what you call it. Just don't let me catch you. Catch me? Cuba goes crazy. He got a glass in his hand. He throws it. Catch me? You gonna come up in my motherfucking spot trying to tell me what to do? Huh? It's my shit, Frank. My man. That's how Frank handled the situation, man. And so this situation just really it took me back to that actual scene. That Rogers, man. Only individual that wasn't happy, he comes up to the table. Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to zip in your jacket up. All due respect, Irv's, his girl was kind of top heavy. All due respect. No problem. So she zips her jacket up even more. Now the jacket was already zipped. It ain't like her jacket was like way down here. His mom is there. Kids is there. Come on now. Plus the penitentiary, they not even gonna let you in like that. If you visited somebody they gonna pat you down. They're gonna search you. They're gonna make sure you're appropriately dressed. But once again, Roger's fat ass is the only one that had a problem. And if you fat, don't take offense. Hell, I'm fat. Don't take offense to it. But Rogers, he is his fat ass. No problems. Zipping the jacket up. They proceed to, another 20 minutes goes past. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you and your guests to leave. Leave? What do you mean leave? You've disobeyed a direct order. We asked you, but it was really you. We asked you to zip your jacket up, and you refused to do so, and you have violated such and such code in the handbook, the dress code, and sir, I'm not trying to violate, but my jacket won't, listen, look, it won't go any further than this. Zipper's way up here. It won't go any further. Look, you can even try it. That's how much she wanted to be there for her man. You can even try. Ma'am, we're going to have to ask you to leave. Come on, Rogers, man. It's Thanksgiving now, Irv. Come on, Rogers, man. It's Thanksgiving, man. You see, she can't. Don't, baby. Is there any way I can go to the car? I have I have a hoodie in the car. I didn't know that this would be a problem. Is there any way I can just go to the car and change, put my hoodie on? No, once you leave the premises, you will not be permitted, at jail talk, that police talk, you will not be permitted to re-enter the premises on the same day. You'll have to come back. Yeah, but we just drove. We live like 3 hours away. I mean, we don't get a chance to come down here often. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you one more time, or you will be physically escorted off the premises. You are hereby ordered. That's how they talk. He really thought he was police. To leave the premises. Irv is hot. He's steaming. Steaming Willie beaming. Is Willie beaming. And all the ladies. Like he got just smoke coming out of his ears. Come on, Rogers, man. But he's not being loud. See, they'll get you for inciting a riot. Carries major good time loss and hold time. Come on, Rogers, man. It's a visit, man. She zipping the jacket up, man. Damn, man. It's Thanksgiving, man. Don't you have... My kids is here. My mom is here. Go to the back. He's telling Irv, go to the back. The back is where you go get strip searched. Because you got to get strip searched before you go back to your dorm. Or your cell. Him and Rogers is going through it, but Irv never really gets too loud with him. The girl goes on and leaves after like 40 minutes, if that, and they were being harassed damn near the whole time that they were there. He's ready to whoop Rogers, man. Remember, he's 5'11", man, so he can whoop a lot of people. He's ready to go and put hands on Rogers, man. He's telling, whoever the other COs are that, because Rogers is not the only CO at visitation. Look at Rogers and smirk and laugh. Hey, man, let me talk to you, man. Let me talk to you. So you could just hear the two of them yelling back and forth. They yelling back and forth. Finally, Irv, he doesn't calm down, but I guess he just realized he can't win, so he walks back to the dorm, but he's heated, man. He's heated. They end up calling him up to security. Rogers wants to have him locked up, put in the hole. Disobeying a direct order, disregard for what an officer says. And it's crazy how people get these labels, right? Because you take a dude like this that would never ever disrespect you on the streets. You take these officers that would never ever disrespect you, even look at you wrong on the streets, but you give them a little blue uniform with a badge, a flashlight, some pepper spray, and a motherfucking handcuffs. They really, really believe that they that man. I will beat your ass, man. The only reason you get away with doing some of the things you do is because I'm in here. I will beat your ass. Some of them don't do no talking. They just, go on do what they do and deal with the consequences later on. See, my goal is to get home, man. I ain't got no time for some officer that don't give a damn about me or my kids. I don't have no time for that officer to trick my time off, or I trick my time off on that officer. I had somebody jump in my comments. Yeah, Kansas, you think it sounds good? Let one of you inmates run up on me. I keep it on me. Well, I'm sure you do. I'm not saying that they don't. They encourage correctional officers to keep it on them. But guess what? You think they stopped making them when you got yours? See, odds are you're not going to see him coming because there's so many different inmates that you've run across and been rotten to. I'm only talking to the rotten ones. Not talking to all of them. You cool, you work at the jail, prison, whatever, and you cool to people and respectful, whatever, and you get your money and go home, man, salute to you. I'm only talking to the major dickheads like Rogers. He always gonna remember your face, but you out with your kids somewhere. You done caused this man not to make parole because you done gave him a bogus write-up and planted something on him or whatever. Oh, come on, man, not around my kids. You didn't care about my kids. I don't advocate for this. I don't suggest this. But it is reality. And guess what? There is a message. You didn't care nothing about my kids when you wrote me up. My kids was waiting on me to come home. So why should I care about you being with your kids? It was F my kids, so guess what? It's definitely F you and your kids. It's the reality. Rogers tried to have him locked up. Matter of fact, they locked him up temporarily to put him in a hole. It was a cool sergeant on that day. The sergeant came, talked to him. He explained to the sergeant what happened. The sergeant was so cool, he went back and looked at the video and seen that, because they can zoom in, they seen that her shirt was zipped up. It was nothing inappropriate. Let him out of the hole, man. Go on back. Enjoy your rest of your day, your Thanksgiving. This point is probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, roughly. Rogers was working a double shift that day. Remember I said you got the special meal. We walking up to the chow hall. I always went and got mine. Even though we cooked in the dorm, I'm gonna go get that special meal. If I'm gonna just give it, sometimes I would just give it away to a person. But I would go up there. So I'm walking up there. I see Irv. Remember I said we stayed in, his dorm was right beside the dorm that I stayed in. Didn't even know he was going up there. Was really surprised. Because Irv had money sent in. Irv, he wasn't, indigent or anything like that. But, so we walking up to the chow hall. Chow hall, typically, they got 6 o'clock count. So usually you gotta be in that chow hall by no later than 5:30. But the line was so long and you could look out of the door. The dorms we stayed in, you could look up and see that long. If it was a long line, you could see it. Special meal day, everybody's coming to the chow hall. So 6 o'clock count is probably not going to be 6 o'clock count. They're going to probably move it back to about 6:20. Freezing cold. It's Thanksgiving. It's freezing. It's cold today. The day before Thanksgiving in Kentucky, but it was freezing. Plus the the walkway where you walk up to the chow hall is like right there by the highway, man. So that wind from the cars, cars driving by. Every once in a while you get a racist. Sometimes you get cool people. What's up, dude? Rock on! Fucking party! Yeah! Sometimes you get a racist, man. They driving past. Nigger! That's how it sounds in the video. Nigger! You can just laugh. Walking up to the dorm, or to the chow hall rather, from the dorm. And we're right there. The chow hall has like a little covering that you can stand under, like if it's raining, snowing, or whatever. And it extends probably about 20 feet, if that. Rogers looks out of the door. We're right there at the front part of the extension, the covering that's leading to the chow hall. He looks out of the door. There's nobody else in line. They had just let like probably 10 people in. Rogers clearly sees us. Clearly. We go up to the door. The door's locked. He locked the door on us. Knocking on the door. Rogers won't get an answer. Rogers looks out the window, does like this, pointing at his clock, saying that we're too late. How are we too late? We was right here. Literally right here, but he can't hear us. He's, the window. So many people in the chow hall. The chow hall is relatively small. So when you let 10 people in, guess what? It's probably 10, 15 people that's on their way out. It just so happens to where Probably 5 or 6 people was walking out. We slide in the door. Doors are right there beside each other. So you got a door to where you enter, you got a door to where you leave, but they're right there beside each other. So we slide into the other door, the way you leave. Standing in line. We're in there maybe about 5 minutes. The line is moving. We're at the very end of the line. Actually, to be honest, it was some people that came in behind us. They couldn't get in, but like I said, when people was leaving out, they would just slide in the door or whatever. 5 or 6 people behind us. Rogers comes up to us. What are y'all doing in line? He more so is talking to Irv. He don't really recognize. He recognized me, but he ain't even really looking at me like, hey, what are you doing in line? What do you mean? What am I doing in line? Shit, I'm here to eat. Something that you've apparently been doing your entire life. Didn't really say that. It's just a little humor. Dry humor. Oh. Okay, Kenji. Oh, I got it. You came into the chow hall when I told you when you were too late to eat, but you came in here anyway. How was I too late to eat? I was right there. When you opened the door to see if anybody, just because I wasn't standing in front of you and I hadn't walked up the stairs, I was right there. Go back to your dorm. You're not eating. You mean go back to my dorm? I'm not eating. Man, it's Thanksgiving, man. You're not eating. You wasn't here in time enough. The chow hall's closed. The cutoff. You're not eating. Man, give me some stripes up here, man. Give me a sergeant up here, man. This is ridiculous, man. I'm tired of you. It's like you targeting me, man. Yeah. Play that card. Yeah, I'm gonna play that card, all right. 2 of them having words. I'm just sitting there. I ain't even saying nothing, man, because this is relatively, Irv didn't talk loud. They were just going back and forth or whatever, verbally sparring. Next thing you know, after about 5 minutes, everybody else that went past us. That lets you know some BS, right? I could have went on. But no, I walked up here with you. Guess what? I'm going to leave with you. If that means me not eating either, me not getting a special meal tray, whatever. But I found it very, very interesting that the individuals that came in behind us walked around us and they ate. So if you told us that we couldn't get in, how are these individuals? But we can't say anything because that's ratting. You can't be like, oh, but you let them go. No, that's ratting. You get your wig split in prison for doing something like that, even though you may not even fully be understanding that that's what it is. Going back and forth, he refuses to get the sergeant's busy or whatever. Man, I ain't going back to my cell, man. You gonna feed me, and I'm getting one of these trays. Come on, bro. Don't even. Nah, man. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Brothers get upset, get a little angry, man. You ain't gonna fully pronunciate pronounce rather the word. This shit. Sick of this shit. They say the movie New Jack City, Nino, G-Money just was fed up with Nino. I'm sick of this shit, Nino. You didn't build this shit on your own. I helped you build this shit. Cash Money and my brother's keeper. Y'all jump in the comment section and let me know if you entertain, and let me know if you your brother's keeper. And I, my brother's keeper. Rogers jumped bad. So sick of you inmates. I'm in here working a double shift, Thanksgiving. And you want to give me static? You want some static? But that ain't how he talk. He's talking like a little. Now you want some static, dude? You want some static, man? Come on, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, brother. Yeah, you talk all that stuff, Rogers, that badge on, that radio on, your panic button. Right there on your, they got like a little contraption where they keep their radio at, right here on their shoulder. Yeah, you talk all that stuff. Oh, you think I won't? He takes his badge off, snatches his radio off, everything, little belt, his utility belt. Now, Batman used to say back in the day, if you're old enough to remember, if I could just, him and Robin, they trapped somewhere, and Batman's trying to free him, trying to rescue him, but he can't get to his belt. His belt got all the tools and the device. If I could just reach my utility belt, I'll be able to. Takes his utility belt off. Come on! Come on! Look, man, go on, bro. Irv's like, go on, man. You win, man. You win, man. Nah, come on! We taking it this far? Man, he runs up on Irv. Boom, 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 boom. Man, I ain't seen it, man. Listen, when I tell you I've never seen nobody probably get hit with a 10-piece that fast and thorough and just flush, like just boom, boom, boom. And he's turning, you tell he know how to fight because he ain't just swinging wild. He boom, 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 boom. Man, he beat, man, it was a 10-piece. I stepped back. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Fuck Rogers. I'm surprised he wasn't even unconscious. Yeah, what's up? He would have been if Irv had stomped him all the way out, but he ain't even really, he was bloody. He was bloody. Rogers trying to get to his panic button, his radio, so he can call a Signal 7. Signal 7 in Chow! Signal 7 in Chow! Signal 7, for y'all that don't know, is one of them situations where somebody's getting the brakes beat off of them, typically an officer, but if it's not an officer, you need to stop what you're doing and get here because it's something very, very serious. He couldn't do the Signal 7 because he couldn't get to the radio. If he could have, Signal 7 in the trial hall, and it's always frantic in the voice, Signal 7 in the trial hall. Well, the inmates is not going to call a Signal 7. Guess what? You got the Aramark workers. Aramark is the company that comes in, feeds the inmates this nasty-ass food, bottom of the barrel food, but yet they in the White House feeding the top of the line food, but yet they do bottom of the barrel contracts just as well with the prisons. Man, y'all rock with me, man, because I'm on one today, man. I'm on one. Fuck it, I'm on one. Apparently somebody from Aramark called Signal 7. Called security. Signal, they have radios too. Signal 7, but they don't know to say Signal 7. They probably do. Whatever the case may be, the people came running in 6 or 7 deep. Irv's already on one. He beating the brakes off Rogers, but he ain't just getting on top of him, like just bashing him out. He could have. He's letting Roger get up, fat boy. You tough. He laughing at him. Time Rogers. One thing about Rogers, he ain't give up. Rocky said to Tommy, and was that Rocky 5? Hey, old Tommy, I ain't no belt. One more round. Come on, man. Sit down somewhere, man. You punch drunk. You got blood all over your shirt. I'm about to severely get effed up when the people do come in here. He weighed 350, 360. He keeps running up. Bam, 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 bam. Just catching him. People come in. Roger's trying to still get up off the table, get up off the floor. He's trying to hold himself up by the table, but the table's like, it's like a metal table, so he's sliding down. His fat ass falls back to the ground. He trying to get back up. A couple officers, they run down on Irv. He smashes a couple of them. They spray him with the bear spray that they carry on their hips. Look like fire extinguishers. Even though he can't see, they don't want to get near him because he's still throwing them things. He's throwing them hands. He recognizes the voice of one of the sergeants that was genuinely a good person. He chills. Puts his hands behind his back. Y'all gonna have to get this out of my eyes first. I ain't doing nothing. Give me some water. Well, they don't use water when they spray you. They got this solution that they use that they spray in your eyes and put in your eyes. It's not water. Nevertheless, they end up taking him to the hole. Roger's big sloppy, goofy, so-called tough ass is still trying to get up off the floor, sliding off the table. Every time he get up, where's he at? Where's he at? Man, if you don't get your ass up, man, you just got the brakes beat off of you, bro. Pissed on yourself. That's how hard you got hit. I want to press charges. I want to press charges. Now, they done cleared out the whole Chow because when they sprayed that bear spray, nobody could stay in there. That stuff is strong. So guess what? You got a lot of people that didn't even get to finish eating. You got people that was like, man, I was about to eat, and the whole situation. So it was just a messed up thing. They had to bring the people like sack lunches because you got to feed them in prison. But because they had to clear out the Chow hall, they had to bring them like peanut butter and jelly, and some bags had chips in them, some didn't. So that was a whole nother, we'll talk about that in a different story, because that was an issue just as well. Irv goes to the hole. Rogers wants to press charges. He's messed around, beat up bad. Could have been done way, way, way worse. But you know, they put an outside charge on this man, shipped him to a higher level prison automatically before he was even convicted. I never knew what happened to Irv, because once he's gone, unless we in contact, communicating, pit and pad. I never would know. How could you know? I get out. He gets out. Actually, he makes it out before me, but I don't know that. Reaches out to me on social media, man, on Facebook. That's one good thing about Facebook. He reaches out to me. We talking or whatever. I asked him whatever happened with that situation. He said that they tried to hit him with an outside charge, but the problem was when Rogers, I want y'all to remember this. Excuse me. When Rogers took his badge off, his radio, his belt, his utility, if I could just reach my utility belt, when he took all that off, he's no longer considered an officer, even though he technically is an officer, and he was the aggressor. Irv had a right to defend himself. Couldn't get him. Ended up getting convicted of a minor write-up. Got out like 6 months later, out of prison. They was trying to give this man another 5 years for that. Whoop that boy. What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? He whooped that boy. You heard me? I beat your head, boy. He beat that boy's head. Pause. Triple pause. Matter of fact, I don't even like how that sounds. Let's rewind that. My man, you rewind, man. He beat the brakes off that boy. Rogers done got beat up so many times, and it finally got to the point to where he was on his way home from prison one night, work, got in an accident, a real bad accident, broke his neck, his back, all that, and you just heard everybody cheering, laughing. I didn't laugh, I didn't cheer, because, we all, I just, much as I can't stand Rogers, I just didn't find it in my heart to laugh and cheer, but man, everybody was laughing. Good, that bitch, I hope he dies. That's all you heard in the background. Put that fat bitch in a wheelchair, fuck him. Can't blame people for feeling the way they feel. It just wasn't my stilo. Comes around, goes around. What goes around, comes around. You treat people bad, guess what? You're not always gonna, you know what I mean? In prison, man, you hold the torch if you got a pen and a pad. Trying to get the damn label off, I ain't having that. This is the minimum aftermath, and ain't gonna be nothing after that. So give me one more platinum plaque, fuck rap, you can have it back. So where's all the mad rappers at? It's like a jungle in this habitat. Y'all gotta forgive me. I just off the top just start singing somebody else's songs, raps, or whatever. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. It's a bunch of gibberish. Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. So what do you say? Somebody you hate? Anyone trying to bring trouble your way? You're in a position of power, authority. Understand that it may not always be that way. And even if it continues to be that way, I don't mean that outside of the workplace or when you out with your kids or your family or that you won't get caught slipping. Like, you have to understand, treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't care if you feel as though they're beneath you. You shouldn't even feel that way because nobody's beneath you. Nobody. Treat people well, man. I'm not saying if you're a correctional officer or police, you let people do your job, but don't just do things simply because you can. Have some sort of compassion, empathy for people, because you never know. You never know when it could potentially come back to haunt you, man. Shout out to my dog Irv, man. I ain't talked to him in a while. I don't even see him on Facebook no more, and I know he hasn't gotten in any more trouble. He's like a righteous brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a... Shout out to my dog Irv, man, and hopefully somehow, some way, if this message reaches you, because there was a message, reach out to me, bro. I'd love to hear from you. The food situation today, we served pizza and chips and desserts and waters and sodas. It was a beautiful thing. News came out, and I'm gonna put that video up for you all later on. Thank you to all the people that contributed. It was a beautiful thing. Once again, beautiful when it goes right. And what more can I say? Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification so anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. See, y'all see the water in the back? That's why there's so many waters in the well. Not so many, but there's one case of water. We gave out probably, I don't know, 10 cases of water. These are 40 packs, man. You know what I'm saying? We had 75 pizzas. We had chips. We had all type of stuff, man. I thank every last person that donated, every last person that prayed for us, every last person that wanted to donate but gave me a call, said, Kens, I just can't do it right now, but I shared your video, or when's the next time you're doing something, and I'm going to make sure that I contribute, man. Thank you. Thank you all, man. Thank you all. I'm going to bring you it was so cold. I recorded a little bit, but it was freezing outside today. I'm not even going to lie. But I'm going to bring you all the videos, and thank you again, man. Real Kens TV.